actually disagree with like the red pill situation when it comes to male promiscuity, because I feel like, unfortunately, the men are causing what we call the hoe epidemic as well with their wants and desires. And let me explain, as in, we have all these women that have all these unrealistic ratings and thoughts of themselves. And I think it's because they are getting access to those higher end men and getting slept with. And as women, what we think when we have been slept with is that that person wants us and that we can get those type of people. So when men sleep around with like a 1 or 2 or 3 and they're like a 8, of course that 1 or 2 is going to think that she's an 8 because she pulled that 8 in the bedroom. And as for women, that's something that we actually cherish more. That's why we shouldn't be as promiscuous. So I think that men need to buckle down and stop giving the women the power. Since our power is women, that we decide who has sex, men can also take that power away by just not engaging in those women anymore and really engage in the people you're really interested in. Because if not, I feel like it's still going to continue. We're going to keep going down this same cycle over and over and over again.
Okay.
That's about the only thing I disagree.
Women who have been slept with?
As in, like, you know, like you meet someone at a club, and then they like pull this like good looking dude or this dude from like a, you know, a rapper or something, and they go have sex with that person. Women, not saying all, but most women, when we have relations with someone, we feel that we've accomplished something because that is our power. And so that's why a lot of the women even have that kind of confidence with men and thinking that they can still pull a man to still be married, because that sense for us women is very valuable to us, as in we have that power, not necessarily as like men.
Well, let's get into this. So you agree then that women are the gatekeepers of sex?
Yes.
Okay, so if women are the gatekeepers of sex, how in the world could you put it on men?
What I'm going to put on men is to stop sleeping below your own standards.
Yeah, but who are the gatekeepers? Who are the gatekeepers of sex?
Women. But if
men so then wait a second. So then if women are the gatekeepers of sex, men could not sleep below their standards, absent women giving them access, as they are the gatekeepers of sex, correct?
I don't agree, because there's, being someone that's a model.
You literally just said that your standard is women are the gatekeepers of sex. Is that true or false?
That's true.
Okay, so then if a woman is a 2 and a guy is a 9, they still are the gatekeepers of sex, right?
Yes, but the man can still like walk away from that chick. I've seen men do it.
I thought, you're saying that women are the gatekeepers.
Yes.
So if women are the gatekeepers, shouldn't they gatekeep?
Yes, they should. But obviously they're not.
But they're not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I agree. We both agree. I don't think they are at all, but I'm trying to help men with their own solution, since women aren't going to stop this train. They're not. That's what I meant by it's going to continue over and over and over again, because women, we just feel
so the gatekeepers of sex are not going to gatekeep the sex.
No, they're not. They haven't been.
Right. So then the promiscuity epidemic would be lying on women's shoulders far more than it would be men's shoulders, then, wouldn't it?
It would, but the higher value men, if they just stop paying attention to these low end women, because again, being someone in the industry, seeing a lot, men don't have to go in with those gutter girls. They don't.
I don't really think it depends on the type of girl or like guy you are. To be honest, I don't think it matters whether this guy's a 10 and this girl's a 2, or this girl's a 2.
It does, because women want to sleep with 10s. They don't want to sleep with a 5. It's fact. So it really does matter what kind of man it is. The reverse logic to this is when you say, but you know, men want to sleep with blank, but women also want to sleep with blank. Yes,
and they're the gatekeepers. They're the gatekeepers of. So the 2s want to sleep with the 9s, right? And the 9s don't give a shit. They'll sleep with the 2s.
Exactly. I feel like
so who has the ultimate say here?
The women.
The women. So then why are you even making a what about the Mendo argument here? It's clearly not. I don't know how you can put this on the shoulders of men. The promiscuity epidemic, they can't do it's not like inside of society there hasn't been now 80 years of sexual liberation for women.
Yes,
there
that's true. That's very true.
And
yes.
it has created a social contagion inside of society. And the question is like, at this point, we can't do much about that, right? But women have always been able to be the gatekeepers. Yeah, I was just saying this social contagion, women are the gatekeepers. So, I mean, you're kind of baked into your argument. You're saying that men who are, way above a woman in status and in looks will still sleep with women who are way, way, way under that. But women are going for the value status, which is over them. But they're the gatekeepers ultimately in this scenario. So I'm not sure how you can put it on men's shoulders. Essentially, you think that men will kind of sleep with anything, right?
No, I wasn't trying to put it on men's shoulders. I'm trying to help you guys find a solution.
I think it's more so that men can sleep with, like, I'd say who they can, but I guess that would be women. If you're putting it in this case where she's a 2 and he's a 10, it would be her sleeping with who she can instead of who she wants.
Right.
While a man
Wait, go ahead, Priya.
The problem is that neither party is, like, it isn't responsible for their actions. I mean, I absolutely agree that women are the gatekeepers of sex and hold more responsibility over this action, like over the act, than men do, because it is much more precious to us than it is men. But at the same time, no party is
I feel like that's why there's a thing as consensual sex, because you have to have both parties. I think responsibility from both parties, I feel like. Yeah,
I think the biggest problem that I see in the quote unquote red pill community, I think is kind of what you were touching on, is men saying that they want a, like, quote unquote pure woman with a low or negative body count, but they just think that it's okay for them to sleep around and essentially do whatever they want, and then expect
women to still have low body counts. It's not realistic.
Which essentially adds to the problem that you're trying to speak out against, which I don't understand.
Well, I don't think
that's anything that either of them have said.
Right. I'm not really in favor of male promiscuity. I do think that there are differences between men and women, and I think promiscuity has a negative impact on both men and women, but this seems to be more pronounced. It has a more pronounced impact and effect on women. So that's typically what I argue, but I'm not in favor of men just running through a bunch of chicks. So
that's also not to my knowledge, this is not a talking point that promiscuity is good for men either. I think that you can find some red pill creators who might say something like that, but it doesn't seem like it's a descriptor that they're necessarily going after. Male promiscuity can be a problem, of course, but if your argument is to say that women are the gatekeepers of sex, then the responsibility is mostly on the shoulders of women, and it would be nice to see them take some responsibility for once.
Yes,
I don't see them do that very often.
Well put. I concur.